Hello and welcome to my little corner of YouTube. If you're new here, you have come on a very interesting day. I do hope you enjoy the video and stick around to the very end. If you are returning friend and family, then again, just like the new guys, you are going to be happy you came. I have a special video for you. Normally, what I do in my videos is I bring to you the oldest scam baits first, as a lot of times the newer ones that I'm working on right now, I'm still currently working on. So I don't want them, I want to make sure they're completely played out. And two, because, it's nice I like to see what my progression was. This is where I started and this is where I'm finishing. It's just the way I do my personal business. However, today is going to be different. Today, as you sit down in your nice cozy chair by the fireplace and get all warmed up, you are going to get to hear a scam bait that I literally just finished. I'm pretty sure he's done with me because I am freaking fracking done with him. And this is connected to a video that Juliana did. If you do not know Juliana on Celebrity Scammers Baited, I highly recommend you visit this young woman. She is very talented. She's very feisty. I love her to death. I wish we lived next door, but I just can't do Australian anything. I am literally I melt in heat. I'm sorry. I live in a cold area. And when it gets hot here, even that I can't handle. Juliana does a lot of scam baiting, has done it for over a year now. Her videos are well worth the watch, especially if you like people like Scam Sandwich who literally yell, scream, and swear at scammers. It's not something I typically do, but it's always fun and cathartic to listen to it. Definitely go and subscribe and like her fucking videos. However, the reason why I'm linking her into this is because she had done a small series, and she's opened the door for all of her viewers to, if they have scam baits and they want her to read them, she will just send them your scam baits and she'll read them. So one of her viewers sent in a scam bait. And that's how I met our scammer that we're going to talk to today. Or talk about today. Again, this is the original Scammer Tactics viewer story that Juliana did on Celebrity Scammers Baited over a month ago, or just over a month ago. It says a month ago, but I feel like it's been longer than that. Whatever, doesn't matter. This is James Franklin. This is the video that Juliana did that she was reading the scam bait from a viewer. If you don't know Juliana, again, go and give her a go. Give her a go. See if you like what she's got to offer. If you don't like what she's got to offer, though, at least, if nothing else, go find Scammer Tactics viewer stories. Go look for James Franklin. This is exactly what it looks like, which is why I'm still on her page, so that way you can see it. I haven't figured out why YouTube won't let me link shit. Maybe it's because I'm still a newbie to YouTube. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm like a baby, don't know what to do. I'll accept either. Go take a look at this video, because this video will explain my video a little bit. But also go give her a go, because she's worth it. Now that I'm done with that ramble, get ready for some more rambling as I tell you my tale connected to that story. I had originally, after watching that scam bait viewer video, I had attempted to hit up this James Franklin, who was in that video misogynistic, racist, and just icky gross. And I sent him a DM. However, he didn't say anything. I waited for a long time and I just decided, it's not worth it. He's not going to bite. So I deleted the chat and moved on, but I actually didn't block him. So, to my surprise, 2 days ago, he pops in to my DM. I might have erased our chat. There wasn't much there because it was just me saying, hey, I came across your profile. Thought maybe you could be friends. You know, one of those typical scammer gross things that they tend to do as they're trying to get into your DM and romance scam you. But yeah, he didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden, he answers what I thought was gone, long gone. By the time he came back to me, he had changed his name from James Franklin to Dalwinder Singh. No clue if that's his actual real name, but that sounds more like that would be his name than James Franklin. Both of those names also come up in the OG video that Juliana did. So he comes to me with a thumbs up and I said, hello, can I help you? I don't know, he says. Well, at least that's an honest answer, I replied. I don't know you. Who are you and which country do you live in? I also don't know you, yet here we are. I'm in Australia. How about you? Really? He asks. And at this point, I was very confused because, again, when I tried to contact him, he was James Franklin, had a completely different picture, that picture in which I showed you on Juliana's YouTube. That is where that's what I had done. So this picture is completely different. Like I wasn't keeping up. I wasn't keeping up with the Kardashians on this one. So it took me a bit to figure out that this was the same guy. It wasn't until later on throughout the day as he was talking that I went back to Juliana's video. I listened through the video 3 or 4 more times than I had already done when it originally aired to find that this is the same guy, Dalwinder Singh. Apparently, in the video that the Scam Baiter viewer had sent, or not the video, but in the scam bait that the viewer had sent Julia that she made into a video, he had said his name was Dalwinder Singh, but he had unsent that message. So I didn't have any visual proof until later on when Juliana mentions, I'm like, this is the same fucking guy. I got so excited. I'm still excited now. Please excuse my rambling. I don't know why it's so exciting. Well, I do know why, but I can't explain it. Anyway. Yes, why? Where are you? Also in Australia? I asked. Going to Australia is like dreaming, he says. He never gives any context for that. Don't know what he means. How so? No, I'm speaking from Punjabi state of India. Well met, I said. Are you a woman or a man, he asks. Because that's important. Now, that's actually offensive. Gender is a social construct. And asking if you are a woman or a man is only just a little less offensive than going up to somebody and asking them what's in their pants. Unacceptable behavior. I don't care what country you're in. I don't care what century you think you live in. Unacceptable. I am me. End of story. Anyway, I digress. There is going to be, I just want to warn you from here on in that there's going to be quite a bit of offensive material. At least it's offensive to me, so it may very well be offensive to some of you as well. Again, I will remind people that have been watching me, and I will inform people that do not know, I am not a Christian, but I do not hate Christians. I'm just not big on Christianity. But I'm not gonna tell people to get away from it. Absolutely not. However, this man is going to use religion, or attempt to, kind of the way he was trying to use it in the OG video. And so things were said, and things you will see are going to be said, that are not 100% my belief. It's mostly, I'm talking to a scammer. A scammer that did try very hard to get me riled up, and I refused to allow it. Not sure I understand the hang-up on gender. Non-binary is my answer, and that is my answer. I identify as non-binary. If you really want specifics, if it matters at all, which I do not believe it does, I identify as pangender, which means, in a nutshell, all genders. There are many times when I am more male-like, many times when I'm more female-like. There are many times when I'm just me and I exist. Pangender belongs in the non-binary bookshelf under the T for trans. Non-binary folk are the same yet different as transgender folk. It's all in the same T for trans. Anyway, I'm not here to educate. Just giving a brief explanation because that's not what my YouTube is about. But yeah. What city in Australia do you live in? He asks. And this question was actually a question which I recognize was to test me. Australia doesn't work that way. Well, you plan to fly out to meet me? I'm currently in Perth. About 11:30 now in the morning. Why the hang up on gender? I asked again. And then I'm not quite sure why I worded it as you're not the guest that needs to know. I'm pretty sure I meant to say you don't seem like the kind of guy that would care, kind of thing. But anyway, this is what it came out. Can we talk on a video call? I would like to see you. I said, why? I just want to see you. So I responded, fun. And I actually half entertained the idea of getting on a video call with him. Of course, my video doesn't work, so he wouldn't be able to see me. But he could hear my voice, and he could see something very blurry that would be very frustrating for him to see. I declined the offer, though, because I had family over, and I didn't feel like getting into that. Where, he could hear people in the background start asking more fishing questions, or somebody in the background saying something that they really ought to say. I didn't want any of that. But there's also the fact that it is getting more and more scary out there when it comes to AI. It's only going to keep getting worse. I mean, I'm not going to be scared to the point of paralysis, but the fact of the matter is, if some Jamaican publisher clearinghouse scammers can send doctored videos to Ash and Art from Trilogy Media of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris and Elon Musk all explaining to them in their voice with almost seamless AI why they should deliver the package through FedEx, then it'd be even easier to take my face and my voice, cobble together something to send to one of my relatives to scam somebody, or to send to just whoever to scam somebody. So I didn't want to give him, that ability. I didn't want to just hand it to him. He's got to work for that shit. If you're going to scam bait, or if you're entertaining, not even scam baiting, but if you're entertaining, doing voice and or video chats with somebody that you don't know, just keep those things in mind. No shade, no tea to those that do video, voice, and full face reveals and all that. It's just not something I'm prepared to do right now. Because your actions are also childish like mine, and I'm assuming that he thought that I am a scammer. Which is also another reason why, scammers like to get your video and your voice so that way they can use it for future scamming, but they also like to get that so that way they can confirm whether or not you are indeed a fellow scammer. You lock your profile so no one can look at you, but you're entitled to see others? Childish, LOL, I see. I haven't seen your profile, but I will definitely see it now. And I gave him a thumbs up. I literally don't know what my profile looks like to people who are not my friends. Some countries, Facebook has gifted the ability to lock their profiles, and others, like mine, we can't lock our profiles. It's not available in my area. So the next best thing I can do is to set all of my privacy for everything to friends only. So unless we're friends, you should not be able to see pretty much anything on my page. I don't know if that's true, but I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be able to. I've done all I can to, quote, lock, end quote, up my profile. And that's all I can do. But even locking your profile and even setting all your privacies is still not 100% surefire, because let's say, your Uncle Steven got compromised and scammers got into his profile, got and stolen his information, because your Uncle Steven is still a friend of yours, then the scammers can, if they wish to, go onto your page and do some damage there. There's always a loophole. At least this loophole is a lot more work for the scammers, but anyway, I digress. I don't know if he looked at my profile or not. Maybe I will be able to come to Australia in my next life. Not in this one, and this is one of my very first inclinations that he indeed is East Indian. There was speculation that he was Nigerian, pretending to be East Indian, from both the viewer who was doing the scam bait and from Juliana. But just the fact that he purports to believe in reincarnation would tell me definitely East Indian. That is not, in my understanding, an African point of view, but it is most certainly an East Indian point of view, is reincarnation. So sad to hear, I said, but at least you will visit one day, mate. That's out of my reach, he says. Most things are for the most of us. Dreams can be nice, though. I am lucky to have known an honest Australian, he says. I'm not Australian. I've never been. The only thing is that I'm not shy to find out information about other countries and other cultures and other people. I love you, Aussies. I really do. If I ever say anything that is not correct about Australia, please, please, please correct me, and please understand that I am not trying to be rude about Aussies. I have nothing but love for y'all. I reckon you have run into a few, if not at least one or more of us, I said. I confess, I'm not as fiery as some, and that is damn fucking true. You all are wild in the most amazing and wonderful ways. I'm not complaining. Keep being your Aussie self. But I speak my mind just the same. You are faithful at heart, he says. That's a way to describe me, I said. I'm not oversmart, but I'm wise. Wisdom, in my opinion, trumps intelligence. It seems you still have your childhood inside you. I have no clue what he means. It's good to try and stay youthful at heart when one can, I said. I am also a child at heart. I wish we were always kids. Right, though children know less than they think they do. With age is wisdom, so I don't mind being old. And it's true, the only thing I hate about old is that my body's freaking breaking down. I'm tired of it. My eyes, my legs. But I guess that's the price you pay for more knowledge and more wisdom. But I'm just scared of getting older, he says. And I think he was trying to set me up for, he does do sob stories, but I think he was trying to set me up for more so that way I can feel that he's vulnerable, so that way I can become vulnerable, so that way he can get vital information for me, which I refuse to give him. There's only one way to stop getting older, my guy, and I don't recommend it. You're a very good person, he says. This world needs people like you desperately. The world shuns those who speak truth. Ironic, you say that they need me, but yet they hate my message. More's the loss for them. It's also ironic that someone who doesn't speak truth is saying how much she needs truth, loves truth. Well, I guess he loves truth because if we're truthful with him, he wins. If we are not, he loses. I'm not here to make the world my friend. I appreciate honest people, he said. Is Perth a big or small city? Again, fishing, and again, also testing. But I hadn't finished my typing when he had asked that, so I continued on. And yet most are out to swindle. I'm side-eyeing our man here. Due to laziness. It amazes me how I can walk down the street and know that so many are less than truthful. So sad if you ask me, though there's not much to be done about it, except to be one of the few who won't rob a granny blind. The state of Perth isn't too small. Not as big as my home state, Queensland, to be sure, I told him. You are a curious fellow, crikey. If it weren't for you being East Indian, I would have called you George, LOL, the monkey. Little joke on my part, Curious George who followed the man in the yellow hat. One of my fave stories in my youth. You are sweet and sour, he says, and he thought that was so funny and clever of himself that he sent me a rolling on the floor sticker. Have you ever been to India? He asks. Only via Trilogy Media and Social Catfish. Seriously, folks, if you don't know these guys, go look them up on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. I don't think. Have you ever been out of Australia yet or not? Quite technically, because I'm not Australian, yes, I have been outside of Australia. Everywhere I go is outside of Australia. Not gonna lie. No need, mate. Everything I need is here. Though the heat wave going on now can F right off, I never have done well in heat. And it's true, I don't like heat. So even when I would visit India, it would be I think I was supposed to be one of the times I would have gone in the winter time. That's really messy sentence structure. I'll just read it out because I make fun of scammers for their bad sentences. So here's my bad sentence. So even when I would visit India, I would be one that went in your winter time. Heat stroke is no joke. I think I was just trying, I'd be one of the people, one of the people that, you know what, scam baiting. It literally robs brain cells sometimes. I have heard that Australians are very fond of traveling to other countries, he says. But at this time, there's severe cold in Punjab. And yeah, most of India around about now is around 16, 17 degrees Celsius, which to me is quite ideal. I like between 16 to 21 degrees myself. I can go up to 25, but 25 is kind of pushing it. But to somebody that lives in an area that is constantly hot, like hot, then yeah, 16 degrees would be practically freezing. LOL, I'm sure many do like to travel, I said. Don't mean we all do. This means that you are too afraid of airplanes like me, he says. Why would I be afraid of planes? I use them every time I go back to Queensland. Australia may look small on a map, yet I don't fancy driving coast to coast. LOL. Mar, flying is no thing. You just asked if I had been outside the country, and I said no, I haven't. I think our friendship will last many years. One never knows, as I look into my magic 8-ball, and it says, the future is unclear. Shake it again? Probably not. And then he says 110%. Because 100% is not enough for him. It's coming on noon now. I need to go on a walkabout and have a captain cook to see what I want to eat. I was all ready to let him know what I had for lunch, but that never materialized. Who knows, might catch ya later. We will talk later, he said. I said, it's been bonzer having this random chat up. It's almost like I talked to you before, or rather, heard your lies before. Maybe a past life thing, who knows? I don't have an answer to these things either, he says. So I waited for about an hour and a half or so. And then I came back. Shoo, it's up to 30 degrees now. Got back just in time before it became a real roaster. May have to have a mid-afternoon nap to recoup. And honestly, I was kind of feeling tired about that time, but it had nothing to do with the heat because I'm sorry to all you Aussies right now. We're looking at like 5 degrees Celsius. Again, it's not freezing here, but compared to y'all, it's fucking cold. I don't understand. How should I talk to you? He said. What do you mean? I just mentioned I'm back from lunch. Sorry to bother you. Have a good rest of your day, I said. It seems you did not understand what I said. I guess not, which is why I asked, what do you mean? He never explained. The thing is that my nature is also like that of children. Again, no fucking clue what he meant unless he's trying to tell me, like to set me up for some kind of sob story saying that, he was dropped on his head as a kid or he had fetal alcohol syndrome or anything that would make his cognitive function less than average, which is what I suspect he was attempting to do. But again, he never explains any of that. Maybe if I had furthered along in his little shenanigans, I would have found out. But honestly, my goal was literally to scare him. And I do think I succeeded. I didn't think I was going to get any information from him that was real. I still don't think I did. So you live near the city, but not in it. I'm guessing in a quiet village. Cities are overrated, even when they are a cultural hotspot. Children don't care for hustle and bustle. Everything further on about him is actually information that we as the audience were given by him in the video that Juliana did. Are you a magician? He asks. I would say a mystic. Some might say witch, magician, witch doctor. Whatever you wish is fine. Why do you ask? And he laughs. I don't know why. I feel like strengthening my relationship with you, ? I can't say for sure. I'm guessing because you lost your way and now want to come clean. You don't need to be lost forever. It was my one and only ditch effort to try to tell him to fucking stop scamming. I did not believe it was going to work, but if you don't try, then you never know. I did not understand what you meant, he said. Of course, I'm not sure witchcraft of any kind fits into your beliefs. One would think being near Amristar? I don't know this name. It seems to be strong. One might mistake you for a Sikh. But I don't like to assume. I sense something different and unconventional for your area. Are you born again? And now, this might be ignorance on my part. My time as a Christian, I grew up knowing that being born again literally meant that we were born as a baby to our parents. And then when we decided to accept Jesus Christ, either by being fully immersed in baptism, the way Protestants do, or by the way the Catholics do. I don't believe Catholics do full immersion. I think they still do the pouring anointing of the water. I might be wrong there because I never was Catholic. But the baptism, however the baptism is done, is the born again part. Born again into Christianity under Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, yada, yada, yada. Now, this might be ignorance on my part. Maybe they don't teach that anymore as being born again. I don't know. It's been a tick since I've been in the Christian church. Or maybe it's just that this is a Western concept and not something that is taught or held in other countries. I don't know. Have you by any chance been near the Middle East, like around Iraq? I know for a fact he was because he had admitted that he had been to Kuwait in the previous video. My city is very close to Amristar, city. If you want to hear the truth, then on one hand, I died in 2008. That was his response to being born again, which is why I think I came to the conclusion that either he isn't a Christian because he didn't know what born again was, or that because of his country and or they're just not taught this anymore in the Christian path, that born again means giving your life to Jesus. By the way, just saying you believe in Jesus does not mean you're a Christian. If you haven't, I believe that there are hundreds of religions out there, but that doesn't mean that I'm a part of their religion. Just believing the name Jesus Christ doesn't make you a Christian. It's the following of Jesus Christ and doing your best as a human to uphold everything that he asks you to do. That's what makes you a Christian. So, for all I know, this fellow never did accept Jesus. He certainly does not follow in the footsteps because scammers can't. They absolutely can't reconcile what they do with one hand with what the God that they purport to believe in asks them to do with the other. Are you some old friend of mine who is playing a game with me? Because I have been to the Middle East country twice. I have no idea who your friends would be. It just felt like you had been touched by the Gulf. I can't be sure, of course, so I asked. From your response to being born again, it seems that you are not. But tell others that you are. Are you ashamed of your spirituality? And here's where he uses his spirituality. I'm not ashamed of my spirituality. I believe in Jesus Christ. But the home and society I was born into, it was completely opposed to Jesus Christ. So then, I asked, why did me asking you if you were born again confuse you, if you truly are a follower of the way? Yes, most Sikhs aren't very tolerant of their own following another path, which is kind of true in pretty much any religion. Regardless, my spirituality is also at odds with yours. My life is not a bed of roses. He tries a sob story again. I have seen a lot of sorrow since childhood. Yes, as we all have, to be sure. Since I have been talking to you happily since morning, still I have been talking to you happily since morning, so that you do not feel bad. And I think what he was attempting to tell me was that he's been happy to talk to me and that I shouldn't feel bad that we've been talking for a long time. I didn't care. I didn't care if we were continuously talking or sporadically talking. I just wanted to make a dent in his armor. That's odd. I have to ask, do you know a James? I honestly wouldn't think so, as that's a white man's name. And as you said, you grew up Sikh. Indeed, it is late for you, I said. I shall let you rest now. I love the name James Franklin. You did not tell me anything about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? He realized that he'd forgotten his scam baiting. Or not his scam baiting, but his fishing. Don't you want to tell me about yourself? No, I didn't. What work do you do, etc.? I'm not going to tell you. Or do I have no right to ask you this at all? Bingo. You know, I don't have any friends because no one loves me because I have a bug of speaking the truth, says my liar, pants on fire. My work is of no consequence, really. I'm a curator. I don't really change lives much. Though through tarot, sometimes I can bring clarity. I am 35 years old, but I have no hope of getting married. This is something that he had mentioned in the other video. I'm guessing he wanted me to ask why and, so he can continue on with the sob story, but I wasn't biting. I didn't fucking care. For you, James, you may call me Iafok. Well, I am very happy that at least I have made an Australian friend before I leave this world, says my dramatic man. If you have no friends, then why did you ask me if I was an old friend of yours playing a trick? James, hardly getting off to a truthful start. I'm sure there are those who revere you in some way. I see you are good at what you do in life. I hear lots of laughter, see smiles and pats on the back. Literally, I was picturing an Indian call center. It could be that he works from home too. I don't know. Later on, he's going to tell me he's homeless. However, in the video, he had a home. So, the video I'm referring to, of course, is Juliana's. Maybe he lost his home in between times. I don't know. I don't care. So it's not all doom and gloom, my guy. I want to see you through a video call, he tries again, probably because he realized that I was describing a call center. I understand, I told him. When one is on his game, it is like being on a high you can never come down from. Only there is always that one guy, that pit boss, who looms over you. No matter how good you are, he always swoops in with false praise. Then all you can do is leave the center for drinks, knowing as amazing as you are, he gets the glory. I want to ask you something, he states. Yes, Beta. Ask with truth. And I shall answer. So he sends me Hindi and then translates it. Tell me the truth. Who are you? What makes your mind so suspicious? Beta, he asks. What is this? This is also how I know that he is East Indian. Don't know that he's from Punjab state. He at least knows Hindi. And he's not Nigerian. Because there's nobody from Africa that is actually going to go in depth like this to find out how to pretend to be somebody from India. Juliana and her viewer were right in their assumptions because of all the information that he was giving them. I can fully validate why they thought that, but I can confirm 100% here. This is not a Nigerian person. So I sent him some Hindi back and I said, Beta, son, you are far younger than I would you're far younger than I. Would you rather I call you something else? But how do you know that in our language we say son, Beta? And actually, 2 reasons. One, again, where I live, I am surrounded by people from the Middle East. Most of them are from India. 2, and 3, and even 4, Trilogy Media, Social Catfish, Kit Boga, Pleasant Green, those guys. Do you think that those who aren't brown are so inferior, they do, that they can't know a bit about your culture or goings on? I don't need to be from India to know things. I'm not an ostrich with my head in the sand. And this is what I said to him in Hindi. I haven't lied to you. I am Ayafok. Listen, I am not oversmart, yet I am not unknowledgeable. I am not a colonizer, nor do I agree with colonization. But it is a thing that happened. If you all agree that age is just a number, then melanin is just a shade. Each of us can be beautiful or ugly at our core, no matter our upbringing. When one forgets who he is while chasing coin, he is lost. Sleep well, young prince. I must get on with my day. I am scared of you, he says. I am afraid that I will share my feelings with you and you might make fun of it. I want to tell you something about myself, he says. I see. Well, nothing to say to that, really. I'm sure I know more about you than you want me to know, and less than there is to know. Why did you come into my life? He asks. If your coming cannot make my life a little happier, then what is the use of your coming? Do you know how I am living my life? He asks. Yes, I do. This is where his arrogance and his misogynistic and entitlement all start to shine through the most. What's that to do with you telling me about you? I'm sure the standard explanation given is something to the effect of the universe brought us together for a reason or some other kind of manipulation. Fact is, I'm here, and that's the truth. Is there something about you that you do that may have brought all this about? Hard to say, really. Actually, it's not. There is something that he does. I think we both know how you live your life in squander. He squanders everything. It is how you like your life. It's how you live your life, or lice your life, that makes you unhappy. It's not my job to bring you happiness. Be true. Shedding the false self is where you must start. So, you often use people to make things better for you? Is that why, quote, if your coming cannot make my life a little happier, then what is the use of your coming, end quote? If so, that's dark and sad and empty. You rich people living in rich countries can never understand our problems. I am sick to fucking high heaven with this self-righteous talk that scammers use to justify scamming. What a gross assumption. Why use manipulation? So sad. I am not rich, and if you knew anything about where I live, you would know most aren't rich here either. But you live in Australia. I wish my country was Australia too. You know, Australia was originally a British penal colony from 1788 to 1868, a place where colonizers sent criminals to die. There are rich and poor here, just like in India. There are still scars of slavery and racism. You don't get to tell me what I know and don't know about hardship, Beta. I have seen more summers than you will. That was a threat and a promise. Being ignorant of the world doesn't make you right. Do better in your life. Actually work for your rewards. Stop taking and assuming. It's funny how I can take time to know about your culture, but you just assume about the rest of the world. Such a sad void in your life. Maybe you will fix it. Maybe you will stay ignorant as always. Take the plank out of your eye, brother, before you dare to talk about the speck in mine. This thing is written in the Bible, he observes. Fucking hey. Out of all the things I said, that's what he wants to cling on to? Whatever. Knowing about, sorry for you Christians. What I mean by that is I'm sorry for what I'm about to speak. Knowing about what's in your holy book and putting its teachings into practice are two separate things. I know your book teaches about not stealing, yet the lifestyle you've chosen sees you gleefully obtain wealth and identification of others. Leviticus 19:11-13 speaks out against hustlers, and yet you seem to treat it like a suggestion. So I showed him the King James Version where it says, "Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie to one another. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that he is, I think that's supposed to be that he is hired, shall not abide with thee all night until the morning, whatever. Anyway, literally, Leviticus 19:11-13 really supports the fucking stop scamming. God says so. Matthew 6:25 says, look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap, nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. It also goes on to talk about the flowers of the field and how they are dressed, and if they are dressed in splendor, how much more will your Father in heaven take care of you? Again, if this fellow didn't just believe that the name Jesus Christ was real, and if he truly was a Christian as he said, then these are things that I would think that he would take to heart. Didn't care, because the whole Christianity is just a ruse in order to help scam and manipulate people. And that makes me fucking mad. If indeed you reap what you sow, then in the end you will only reap death and ruin by your own hands. Ask me again if I bring anything of value to your life. I am sure my words mean nothing to you. Do as you will. Just stop moaning about your lot in life, thinking the world owes you. I am a cheater. Yes, I agreed. But just saying so means nothing. Empty words unless you change your life. Every man, woman, and child I have spoken with have met their fates. Wonder which one you'll choose, Mr. Franklin. He doesn't say anything. Oh, sorry. And then the next day says, good morning. Yes, good day, mate. A few hours later, good morning. You said that already. Did you get your chats mixed up? Sorry. He probably did. Now, I did this because previously in the viewer's scam bait that was sent to Juliana, James Franklin did not have, I believe, his profile locked. Or maybe he did, I don't know. When he came to me as Dewinder Singh, and we've found out, as you can tell through everything, that Dewinder Singh and James Franklin are the same person, it shows me that he has locked his profile. Normally what I like to do is I like to go into the profile, take a few pictures, screenshots of things they say, their followers, blah, 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 bullshit, but I couldn't do that in this case. Not only could I not do that, but I could not take a snapshot of his profile because of security. It literally came up, action cannot be done because of security purposes. I wasn't even able to screen record this for that reason. So the only thing I could do is I went on to a second phone, found his, no, that's not right. I went on to this phone, found where it says that it's locked, took a picture from a camera, and just a strict camera phone. It doesn't have phone capabilities. It's my old 2020 phone. It's like only good for a camera and those Gotcha Life or Candy Crush or whatever type games. Took a picture, and yeah, that's how I got this picture. This is a picture of a picture. What do you want from me, he asks. What I want won't happen. You have confessed more than once and yet happily continue on your cheater ways. We know you don't care about the people you impact, or that the people you impact die and suffer. It won't be long before you find out how impactful you've been. All I can say is make better choices, but I don't see that in your future. Then he tries, "You don't care about anyone's pain. You are very selfish." It's very easy to listen to bitter words, but very difficult to walk on bitter life. Manipulation and projection. It's you, Beta, that cares not. Stop being bitter then, I responded. Do you know what problem I am suffering from since childhood? As much as you know about mine, dear, I replied. I was just 3 months old when my mother died. It's sad if it's true, but I really don't believe it's to be true, so I'm going to mock him. Yeah, happens. Mine didn't want me and ignored me, so should I cheat like you? I have seen only trouble since my childhood till today. Still, I keep a fake smile on my face. I never cheated anyone, he says. Yes, we know about the fake stuff. So your life is not what you think you deserve. And that is justification for the death you cause? And he love hearts that. And I reminded him where he said he was a cheater. Because here he's saying, I have never cheated anyone, but then he had confessed that he's a cheater. Not only did he confess in my DMs, but he confessed in the viewers' DMs, which you'll see if you watch Juliana's video. I love death, he says. And this is why it follows you, I retorted. If I had not obeyed the rules of my Bible, I would have killed myself today. Again, manipulation. I said, LOL, rules of your sky daddy, eh? You don't follow the rules. I already pointed that out, with Leviticus and Matthew. You won't get to use unaliving as manipulation against me. Narcissistic people never win. To which she says, thank you. I also do a lot of drugs. Give me money and satisfy my drugs. Are you happy now? A question that he also asked the viewer when he realized that she got caught, that she had called him out and he had no wiggle room. It was, are you happy now? Fucking entitled asshole. I'm a believer of Lord Jesus Christ. Know you understand. KNOW. So I just reminded him about the stealing and what the Bible has to say about that. If you want, I can show you my plot. Will you help me build my house? I am homeless. Again, last time he had a home, now he's homeless. Why are you silent? That was the end of it. The reason why I'm silent, the reason why I won't talk to him anymore, the reason why I don't care to get any information or give any more information to him is because in my years of living with a narcissist, the one thing that absolutely punishes them is silence, especially when they keep trying to egg you on and to get your goat. If you're silent, if you have the last laugh and then won't let them get under your skin, it literally eats them inside. So that was the end for me of this guy. It is a longer video than normal. I do hope you all made it to the end. I really do. And if you didn't, well, it's still a valuable video. Thank you all for joining me. Please like my video. Let me know that you've seen it. If you have any questions or comments about this video, if you want more clarity, absolutely ask me. I do tend to ramble on and sometimes things aren't as clear when I do that. I am aware of this. And, consider subscribing. Most importantly, make sure you go over to Juliana's page, our YouTube page, and give a couple of her videos a go. Certainly give the one that she did a go that is connected to this one. Stay safe out there. Don't get scammed, because I care.